Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to see so many of you here, and I think that is a reflection of your concern about what is happening back in Sri Lanka. Thank you to the organisers for inviting me to this event, and I certainly welcome the visit to Australia of tonight's distinguished guest, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, and the discussion about human rights in Sri Lanka. I've come here tonight not to support any particular political party or candidate, but simply as a friend of the Sri Lankan people, as someone who has observed the situation in Sri Lanka with concern over many years. As others have done, I want to acknowledge that we're meeting on the land of the Whadjuk Noongar people, and we pay our respects to their elders, past and present. We have much to learn from the oldest continuous living culture on earth about how we are all connected. I believe that many of the problems facing the world today, war, climate change, pandemics, nuclear weapons, mental illness, extinction of species, stem from our sense of separation from nature and from each other, from forgetting that we on this planet are all connected, that we need to respect each other. And what we're seeing in Sri Lanka today is a profound lack of respect for human rights and dignity. There has been no accountability for atrocities linked to the conflict that ended in 2009. Security forces continue to commit abuses with impunity, including suppressing peaceful demonstrations and especially targeting Muslim and Tamil minorities. The Draconian Prevention of Terrorism Act remains in place despite promises of repeal, and the proposed anti-terrorism bill would be even worse, further exacerbating restrictions on the right to assembly and freedom of speech in the media. The UN Human Rights Committee in April this year raised concerns that the government's repeated declarations of a state of emergency, including to confront anti-government protests in 2022, has led to serious human rights violations, including deaths, injuries, arbitrary arrests, and detention of protesters. It also found that recent changes to Sri Lanka's constitution undermine the judiciary, the independence of the judiciary, and the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka. In addition, the economic crisis has had a catastrophic impact on the social and economic rights of millions of people. Human Rights Watch has noted that official corruption and tax rules that benefited the wealthiest were key drivers of Sri Lanka's economic crisis, for which Sri Lankans struggling to make ends meet should not have to carry the burden. It went on to say that the government should recognise that the public deserves real accountability, whether it's for past war crimes or ongoing misgovernance and repression of critics. I'm here tonight to say I support the Sri Lankan people's call for their government to uphold fundamental human rights, and that other countries who care about Sri Lanka, including Australia, should support that call. It is clear that things need to change in Sri Lanka, and I fully honour and respect your call for those things to change. Thank you.